Hello everyone, my name's Dave and welcome to the latest episode in my ongoing boat renovation project. It's the 19th of September and here in Ireland we've had a bit of a surprise with the weather because it's been cold and miserable for the last month, but we've got a great spell of weather this week. Bright sunshine, blue skies, highs of 20 degrees Celsius, so it's absolutely fantastic. Men have been able to get outside and do a bit more work on the boat, which I wasn't expecting to do this year. So let's get on and keep that work going. Right, the boat's turned into a bit of a disaster area. I think it's time to tidy up. The insulation finished on the entire v-berth, well, with the exception of up where the chain locker is. I'll have to make a panel to go in there after I have the plywood finished on both sides, because I'll need that dimension to make it, and then I'll insulate on the back side of that as well. And then over here in the settee area, that's all insulated as well, and on this side too. Oh, that looks quite a bit cleaner than it did a little while ago. Right, I've cut the, this is like thermal wrap insulation. It's like foil on both sides with bubble wrap in the middle. And it's supposed to be actually have the same R value as 45mm rock wool or fiberglass wool. So this, in addition to the Kingspan sheeting which is on there, should, you know, give pretty good insulation in this application. At least that's the theory anyway. So I've made it slightly oversized so it fills right tight out to the edges, and that should be a good job. I actually didn't think it'd sit in here as well. I thought it'd be falling down all the time. It just pushes in there and just sits nicely, which is great. So that's that in place, and I'm just torn whether to put I bought this foil tape here. I'm just torn as to whether to put it around it or not. I actually went to 5 different shops to find this stuff, because I honestly thought it'd be falling down all the time when I went to put it up. But it's basically just sitting in place. So if I stick this around the bottom edge, there's nowhere for any condensation that hopefully won't be building up, but if it does, I want it to be able to get out, which is at the very bottom. So I don't want to seal that bottom edge. The back of this plywood is treated with polyester resin to make it impervious to any moisture. So I'm not going to get, you know, rot building, moisture and mold building on the back of this. So I don't think I'm going to bother taping the bottom of it. I'm going to bother taping the top of it. I don't know is the answer. I have these panels here now fitted in with a couple of screws, and the insulation, the thermal wrap is in behind them in addition to the other insulation. And this side here on the settee is done. So that's the template for the anchor locker. So that's the panel cut out and put in place over the chain locker in the V-berth. Right, so this time what I'm going to start referring to as Dave's Bargain Corner. I have one of my latest finds. These are from a DIY chain store we have here in Ireland called Woody's DIY. I went in one day just looking around to see what they had and came across these in the reduced section. They're all bolts, various kinds, and screws, and even some wire rope, shackle things, grips for joining wire rope, and reduced by a severe margin. These ones here, for example, were originally €7.99, reduced to €1. These ones here, $5.19 reduced to €1, $4.49 reduced to €1. Everything's pretty much reduced to €1. So I picked up everything that was in the box and got it, and it came to €24, and I saved €134. So I got over €160 worth of fixings for €24, which was a pretty good deal. So that's bargain number one. This is bargain number two, the car boot sale. I went down the other day and just couldn't find anything in the whole place. I walked around and saw this toolbox there. I picked this thing up to have a look at to see what it was, and the guy didn't know what it was. It's got some kind of a little saw blade in it, and it has a handle on it, obviously, for holding it, and an attachment for a drill. It's almost like it's for cutting out for a lock or something like that. You slip it over and cut out something like that. Sort of like a poor man's router kind of thing. Just I thought it was interesting because I had no idea what it was. So I looked at this and I thought if I ask him how much he wants for this, he's probably going to say €4 or €5. So I put it back in the box like that, and he says, I tell you what, he says, give me €20 and you can have the whole lot. So I couldn't argue with that. So let's just look and see what we have in here. So we have this oddity, whatever it is. There's a brand new tube of plastic wood. There's a little fret saw. There's a level for leveling posts, post level. A gas lighter. If that works or not. Yeah, there's a spark in it. So you probably just refill that with gas, that will work. A brand new pack of heavy duty Stanley staples. A pair of side cutters. 2 5-amp fuses. Some kind of a little cutting bit, not sure what that is. I'll have to see, it doesn't look like it's for, it looks like it screws into something like an attachment. I'll have to see what that is. That itself, it's a pretty old piece of stock. It's in old money or it's in sterling, one or the other. 207. There's another, that's definitely a router bit. That's a 1/4-inch router bit. Few odd screws. A set of knockoff mold grips. A little spanner. It's It's an Imperial multi-wrench, 3/8 and 3/16. Straight screwdriver with a slightly bent shank. And then of course the toolbox itself. So I think I definitely got me €20 worth out of that. Right, so these are the handrails I made a long time ago now, and I'm just going to think about putting bolts into here to mount them onto the cabin top. So I want to make up a sort of uniform way of doing this so I can uniformly drill holes to put the bolts in. What I can do is take bolts and cut the heads off them and epoxy them into the holes that I drill out at 1, 2, 3, 4 points. And I want to do that the same on each of the handrails, and I also want a template to be able to transfer those holes onto the cabin top in the positions where I want to mount the handrails. So it's just it's an easy way of locating them rather than trying to hit and miss, drill them and marking them and, you know, messing about. So this is the way I intend to do it. I'm going to line up the two handrails and this piece here as well, clamp the three of them together and then mark my positions for my holes, and then that'll give me two handrails marked the same and the template to use to fit them. Okay. Okay, so that's them all epoxied in place. We just have to leave that to cure and come back to it then when we're ready to install them on the boat. I don't really do much politics on this channel, and this isn't really political. This is more about daily life for me here and people who live in my part of Ireland. If you can see behind me there in the distance, there are sort of like low mountains there with windmills on them. They are in Northern Ireland, and that mountain range separates Ireland from Northern Ireland to a large extent. There's other parts where the border zigzags in and out, but that's basically the main part of the border, just in this area there. So you can see it's not very far away from me. I'm just, you know, a couple of miles from my house heading to the local town. So that just goes to show you how close Northern Ireland is to me, and Brexit is a reality that we're going to have to face here on both sides of the border. So I just thought I'd show you that to give you a bit of context for you know, my daily life here in Ireland. Right, so on the front hatch here where I'm fitting it in, these little this rib of fiberglass is just bit too high here where the gas shocks for the opening of the forward hatch are going in, so I'm just going to cut these out. Yeah, so that just lets them in like that on both sides. I had this roughly cut out, this bevel here on the front and back of this hatch, but I just scribed a line. You can see the pencil line there. I just scribed a line on just to give me a guide, just to shape it for the final shaping, and just left a little bit on along with the line, just not to cut it back fully to that, because I used a spacer with the pencil just to give me a line to scribe across. I did that on the back and on the front. The front and the back. Here's the back. So you can see that in there. So that's a nice, neat, even join across to the deck on the front and the rear of the hatch. Yeah, this is a full view of it. Okay, well, if you've enjoyed watching this episode, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.